Welcome back to another video, guys. So yeah, what I'm going to be doing today is hopefully just working on some of the small imperfections on the metalwork that we've done from the previous video. So I've gone and got some metal putty, I suppose, metal repair filler. So yeah, we're going to use this basically just to sort out some of the thin spots there you can see in the sheet metal. Yeah, and then just smooth out all this plate that we welded in just in that corner, and then hopefully that should sort out some of the issues that we got around here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to drop this reserve fuel tank off again, and then we're going to put some of that putty back up inside all these corners where we welded, and just sort of seam seal it with the metal filler. And then we're going to actually seam seal it with proper seam sealer, which I've actually left in the house. So I've brought some grey stripe seam sealer, and obviously I've got some of that, well, somewhere over there, I've got some Tiger Seal as well. So we've got loads of different types of sealers. Yeah, just to make sure all the areas are covered, like these spots here on the back. You got this bit here I could actually fill up, make sure no water gets in behind that. And yeah, basically just doing little jobs like that. I'm not going to film obviously doing it all, but it's not hard to obviously show you what I'm trying to do, basically what I'm trying to get at. So I'll come back when I've done a bit of work.
Little.
We've applied the metal filler, so like I say, it looks quite messy, but it's just a good way of sealing up any of the metal between the two joins there. Because the metal is so thin, it's very hard to weld it. So obviously I got what welds I could on there, and that's why I used thicker metal for the box section here. So like I say, this metal filler will obviously just join all these pieces of metal together. There's obviously the roof of it here, the 3mm box, you got the 5mm plate, the joiner plate, and the sheet metal on the back. And yeah, we've done the back here as well. It's cleaned it up really nicely. You can see it's quite smooth now. But what we can do is we can sand all this back and make it look a little bit cleaner. But I'm really happy with that. It's actually sealed it up really nicely, and we've used about half a tub on that. The tub's about £10 or so, and this area did need a lot of it, but I'm quite happy to use that. And if it does it well and it does the job, I'm happy to spend the money to get this done. Yeah, so that's one of the big jobs I wanted to get done tonight. And then I've just filled in the area in here. It's a bit hard to see, but there was a few bits, like I say, with the light coming through, and I've just put a little bit of that filler on top of it, and then we can sand it down. But I'll probably go over it with some more of like the Tiger Seal in here, just a little smidgen on top, and that should be pretty good to go. And then we need to just seam seal all round here and that bit over there that we can see the daylight coming through as well. But yeah, no, we're making good progress and it's looking really smart. Yeah, we're gonna have to leave that probably a few days to actually fully cure, so we can actually give it a good sand and just clean up all the roughness of where I've had to try and smooth it in with my finger. But it's pretty good. It's pretty hard already, so I put a decent amount of hardener in it to actually make it set pretty quick. I didn't want it to not have enough. I'd rather put it in quicker and a bit messier and then sand it down, rather than actually having to mess about with it. And not having enough hardener on it is going to be worse, because you can always add to it. So it's been a little bit of a while, guys. So yeah, just going to update you what I've been doing. So I've been digging into this side over here. I'll turn the light on for you. been digging into this side over here and just obviously finding more and more rust on this rail. So what I've been doing, I've just, like I say, cleaned all this off here, took off that rusty old exhaust heat shield that's just over there, took that off, and then we've just cleaned up most of that rail with some rust eradicator, and I'm going to just leave that overnight just to actually do its thing. It's not the best of stuff, I don't really recommend it, but it's all I have at the minute. So yeah, we're just going to let that just sort of seep in and do its thing. Like I said, I'm not expecting miracles from this stuff. It wasn't very good in the first place, and like I say, it's all I have though, so we're just going to leave that to do its thing. And yeah, we're going to call it a night for there, and that's all I can get done for tonight. But like I say, it's all progress, and doing a little bit at a time, a little bit here and there, and as long as we're moving forward with it all, it can take a bit of time to do all these things. And the majority of these things, when you're painting and sealing, you know, the curing time for most things can be 24 hours, so it's good to do a bit here and there, and we can get a bit done every evening or so, a bit of the weekends. And yeah, so hopefully I should probably see you hopefully this weekend, in a couple of days, and hopefully we can get the rest of that all painted. We can get this side sanded as well, and hopefully from there we should be able to get a good layer of gal spray over both of those rails, so they're all sort of cleaned up, and we can then clean up all the backside here, give that a full respray of gal spray, and we're going to do all inside these wheel wells as well on the back, because it's just been rusting on the inner face of here, so I don't want anything to catch through here, because there was like a rust hole here when I bought the car, but obviously I've had it all repaired. And then we just got to do that inner seal there, and we'll try and get the rust done down the sides. And then hopefully, if we've got enough time as well after we've done that, we're going to get the roll cage hopefully mocked in. So we'll get that put in, and we'll get the two parts of the speakers, like I said before, we're going to have to take those bits off and notch where we need to put them. But we'll mock this up, we'll just get it in there, and we can just go from there really and see how it fits, and yeah, sort that out. I'm going to also need to do the roof. Like I say, it was leaking, so, and I do want to sort it out better, so I'll probably get another skim of filler on that at some point. And also the inner skin there, you probably can't really see it, it's actually sagging underneath there, so I've got to get some more adhesive to go between those two. I'm going to get some spray contact adhesive, which is really strong stuff. It's like a 2-pack epoxy kind of stuff that goes in between things like that, and it just instantly grabs. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get a load of that in there, and that should bond that on there pretty well and pretty permanent, because at the minute, like I say, it is just sagging down, and all that was happening was that I think the Tiger Seal was in there, but the water was leaking in, and it was just getting in, dripping in just slightly, seeping in, and then the water was freezing and it was expanding, pushing it away, and it's forced it out, so it's damaged all of what I've done up there. But it should be easy to fix, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The only other thing, guys, which I will need your help with, basically, I am thinking of repainting the floor in the car. Either I do it the same colour and do it red, which I do like, or I swap it up, and I was thinking maybe a metallic grey, which would look really smart. It'd match the dash and things like that, and maybe even if you could let me know down below in the comments what colour I should go with the cage. It is white at the minute, looks like it's been powder coated, but it is really rough at the minute as well, so there are lots of nicks and scratches and things like that, so it's not immaculate. But yeah, we could leave it white like this and just touch it up, or do we go black, grey? So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if any of you guys have got any ideas what's best, or anything that would look really nice with a red car like this. I'm a bit of a sucker for a boring combination. I'm not a massive fan of really wacky colours, things like that. You know, I do like my red. Like red will go nice with black, that kind of thing. Red and white's okay, but I do like my red on black, so I could go black. But like I say, leave it in the comments below, guys, what you think, and yeah, hopefully we can get a lot more done this weekend, get a lot more tackled on it, and really get this going towards hopefully getting it MOT'd. I'm hoping maybe the end of this year. My full aim to get this car done and back on the road would hopefully be French Car Show next year. That gives me approximately, what, about 8 months to get the car ready, which is more than doable. My only issues are anything that I didn't expect that could come up in the next MOT. Like I say, and I've got the little gremlins with the little problems that I've got with the engine, where it's actually stuttering and stalling. So we've got to diagnose that. It could be a number of things. People have said throttle position sensors, map sensors, lambda sensors, a crack in the inlet manifold. It seems to be endless what people seem to have. You've got one problem, and then people say it could be this, could be that, could be that. So it's just a million things you need to check. So what I might do is, because it is really hard to sort of locate what the problem could be with something like that, I'm going to do all the little like adjustments to the throttle sensor and tweak it, clean the sensors off if I can with proper sensor cleaner, and give that a go. If it doesn't work, then I'll move on to replacing bits and pieces, and then it's just going to be a case of just swapping out what I can just to get that idle, basically up and running to a better sort of standard. The other thing we need to do is sort this boot lid out at some point. We're going to have to paint that as well. Yeah, and then obviously fill these holes like I said before. Like I say, I've still got the plates up there, I just need to put them in here. We could bond them in with some metal filler as well, so they'd be even stronger. But yeah, that's as far as I can get done with tonight, guys, and I'm going to leave it as it is for now. And hopefully I'll day, guys. So yeah, I'm working at the weekend here, and just going to get some work done on Rita. So how I left it, I left some rust converter on that other chassis leg that's just down here. So that's basically how I left it, and then what I've done is, obviously with the grinder in there, if you can see that hook that I'm trying to cut there, that's basically one of the exhaust hangers that holds that exhaust hanger on. And with this car, how this car has its exhaust hangers, it actually is quite a unique sort of hanger, the rubber hanger that actually mounts it. It's kind of a hoop over and then you loop it through, but no polyurethane company like Powerflex, places like that, none of them's replicated that exact exhaust hanger. So, and I changed the exhaust hangers on this only a couple of years ago, and the one that was on there was absolutely rotten. I think it's also where the pressure in the exhaust is, it's a bit, because of the size of it, it actually hits the bumper, so it was putting a lot of force, I think, on that exhaust hanger. And obviously the rubber ones just aren't that great anyway. So what I'm going to do is, like you saw with the angle grinder down there, I'm actually going to cut that hanger, put probably about a 2-inch cut through the actual bar, and leave this the bottom piece, so that when I can buy a polyurethane hanger, which is that sort of diamond shape, I can then actually stick a decent hanger on it, rather than having to reuse the Renault ones, which, like I say, are just terrible. They just split so easily. I had to, well, I just cut it off with a couple bloody cable grips down there. So yeah, they're not very good, and that's the idea behind it basically. So yeah, this is it here actually. I just found it. So that's the exhaust hanger. So it would be like that. So it's like a weird, it hoops over, so you can get that piece over that section that I'm cutting. You would loop it round, so then the bar's then sitting on this piece. Then you would twist it, and then the hanger that's actually on the exhaust would go through that hole. But like I say, no one's made these, and I doubt they will make them, because this is the only car that I know of that has that design. And obviously, being an older car, they're not going to bother. So yeah, we're going to go and get some polyurethane ones. They're only a couple of quids, and they're going to last a lot better, and they're just going to take the punishment a bit better from the heat and the weather that's underneath there. So I'm just going to go and cut this now, and I'll show you after. Okay guys, so yeah, we got that exhaust hanger cut. Like I said, just needed to create enough space that I could get an exhaust hanger through there. So I've cut that top one, then we're just going to actually hang like traditional exhaust hangers off the bottom one there, and just attach it to the exhaust just there. So yeah, it's coming along. Like you can see, there's plenty of rust under here and lots of corrosion. I did underseal the boot floor, but I couldn't get to these parts before because of that exhaust heat shield. So it's taken a lot of the brunt and definitely stopped this car from rusting quicker than it would have. But what I'm going to do is, I've got some Galv spray. I'm going to spray that first, all in the holes and all on the rust. I've taken off all the loose stuff, and then we're just going to do all this back edge as well, and do around all the other parts of where we've done the repairs. So we should get a decent layer. I'm going to have to leave it for a bit and leave the garage, because I can't breathe this stuff in, and come back to it in about half hour or so. But yeah, it's coming along nicely, and hopefully it won't take too long. Yeah, we'll get spraying, get a good layer of Galv spray on all that rusty old metal, and we'll go from there. So hopefully should give it some good life and should last a lot longer. So right, let's get this done. So I've got this stuff here, no nonsense zinc galvanising spray. So yeah, should do the trick. This will be just the base layer. We are going to coat it with other layers of stuff and just build it up as much as I can, and finish off with a with that wax oil underseal stuff, like this black stuff here. So that'll be the final layer. I'm just going to cover the exhaust here, make sure we don't get any overspray on that. Just give it a basic cover just while I'm doing this corner. Oh, there we go guys, so we've got a nice decent layer of Galv spray on all the sort of really crusty bare metal parts. And yeah, like I say, just let this dry. It's drying pretty quick already as it is, but what we'll do is we'll get this bit all sanded down. We'll get this seam sealer all around this one, and finish up with a gal spray over all of that, and that should be the stage one of a bit of protection. I do want to try and do that as well. I might just have to try and mask it off real quick and try and spray around it.
You know, we've been playing the famous 4 game. Oh, yeah. Everything was right. It was down to... Get a taste. She can get a taste. What did you say? It's all the same like Mary Kate. She can get a taste. Let you get it.
Right guys, so just to finish up the video, I've been working away getting all this under sealed and protected. So we got all this side galv sprayed, that's all cleaned up nicely. We got this seam in here done, so that's actually cleaned up really well, that seam in there. And then we've got that seam that was opening up there, we've just gunked a load of seam sealer up there. We've done this seam along here, the one up here and the one up the top. And then we've done all of the back bit there, we've done the corners, and we've done all this up in here as well. So yeah, looking really good, much cleaner. And yeah, been basically doing that. Then the other bits I've been doing, I've started the sanding on this rear quarter. I've done sort of the back part of the roof, and then I've done all this pillar here coming down. We've done the whole of the new boot as well. I'll have to scuff this again. It's all been scuffed with like a 50, and then they were done with very well, I don't know the grit of them actually. They're just these little sanding pads here, so they're kind of coarse. They're probably like a probably like a 250 grit, something like that, maybe a bit finer. But yeah, we've done all of this, just taken out the imperfections in the original first paint job, and then we're just finding like little pinholes and things like that, so we're going to get those buttoned up. But yeah, generally just trying to scuff it all down, try not to go too far back to bare metal. And then the bits that have got bare metal, I've got the metal primer to go through, so it stops it rusting like it has done on that other side. And then yeah, we're just going to scuff this, going to definitely scuff this door. There wasn't enough paint on it, so it's come through pretty thin, you can see there. So yeah, we're going to scuff that and we're going to get it all through looking real nice. And then again, the roof, we're going to completely scuff this, and then we're probably going to like get this sunroof another wave of filler across the top, just try and bring this ridge back and get rid of the join as well, because it's starting to crack. So hopefully we can get another load of filler on it, and it should hopefully get rid of this low spot that's here where the sunroof was. So yeah, that's probably about it for today guys. I'm probably going to leave it like that for now, and maybe come back to it tomorrow. But yeah, I just want this to sort of settle, let it all dry up, all that seam sealer, and let it kind of have some time to cure. As you can see, obviously I'm going to have to wear this mask most of the time I'm in here because of the fumes from the galv spray and the well, from the sanding as well, so because obviously you don't want to breathe any of this stuff in. And yeah, day by day we just take it bit by bit and just take our time. I want to do the job properly and do it well, as properly as can be, DIY. And yeah, should be really nice when it comes out. The next thing on my job list to do, like I say, was to get this roll cage bolted in, but we sort of got a bit distracted doing the rest of this. I do want to get those wheels at some point, get some tyres on them, because winter looks like it's about here. As you can see, it's starting to rain, so yeah, the weather's getting a bit worse. And yeah, we can get some tyres on these and put them on the Clio, so it should look really smart. And then we'll get the white wheels in, like I said, and we'll start painting those, and I'll show you how to paint some wheels and go from there really. So yeah, If you like the video, guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you on the next one.